Being very entitled and controlling, narcissists have no difficulty stepping all over your personal boundaries. So that's why I put together an extensive video class called This Is Me. It has 25 videos, written documents, guided questions. I'm going to teach you how to have healthy boundaries. There's a link below, and I hope you'll find it to be quite therapeutic. As you're trying to come to terms with those narcissistic individuals that you engage with on a regular basis, it's going to be important for you to realize that these are people who are developmentally arrested, which is a nice way of saying they haven't grown up yet. Now, when you are around a little small child, a toddler child, they don't have a lot of impulse control. And they just want what they want in the moment. It's all about me. And so as the years go by, one of the things you do is you teach that child how to live in community. You have your needs, but so do other individuals. You have your feelings, but so do they. And we can learn how to blend, and we can learn how to modulate and have a type of governor on, some of those impulses. Narcissists, as they age, they go through the adolescent years and then all the way into the adult years, never did really buy into that notion of blending well with other individuals. Somewhere along the way, and there are many different reasons for this to happen, they decided it's not in my vested interest to try to tune into you. I want my way, and I want my way now, and in whatever way I can get it, like that little child. And one of the things that they do to rationalize why that's okay is they feed themselves lies. Now, taking it a little bit further, not only do they feed themselves lies, but they actually begin to like the results that come from that. In other words, it allows them to justify why it's okay for them to treat you poorly and why it's okay to focus on their needs. And they can actually think to themselves, I love that lie. I love the life that it gives me because it allows me to focus on my favorite person. One of the things I want to do with you here today is I want you to see that there are multitudes of behaviors that narcissists will bring to you that are based on a lie. And I want you to be able to see what that's all about and get a notion as to what's going on in their mind, what drives them, so that you can know how to respond most wisely to them. Now, one of the first things we'll say when we talk about narcissists and their lying is a narcissist, if they could be honest and say this, but of course they can't because they're committed to the lie, they would say something like, I've determined that my needs are truly more important than yours. That's a lie. And the narcissist can think, I love that lie. And you can see that as long as they go along with that notion, they don't develop empathy. They have no need to show any kind of understanding for you, but it works for me as far as they're concerned. Another lie is when you differ from me, I'm doing you a favor by putting you in your place. I love that lie. And as a result, they can be a bully and they can be harsh and mean-spirited. But in their mind, it's like, well, you need somebody to teach you, and I'm just that person. And it allows them to maintain that kind of bully pulpit over you. Now, another one that they can buy off on is, well, me having to gain control over you makes total sense. I love that lie. So in harboring that mistruth, then they'll diminish you so that they can elevate themselves. And in the narcissist mind, it's like, works for me. I'm going to just keep telling myself that one. Or another one that they'll buy off on is, they may say, I don't just want you to cater to me. I deserve it. And then when you call them out, it's like, ooh, I like that lie too. And of course, you can see that that's part of their attitude of entitlement. They come towards you thinking that you somehow owe them just for them being alive or being in your presence. It's like, people are supposed to cater to me. That lie, it works for me. I'm going to go ahead and continue with that one. Now, in addition to that, they may think to themselves, my anger, no matter how unruly it is your fault. And of course, if you want to call them out on that, it's like, no, I like that lie too much. They don't want to take responsibility for the ways that they bring difficulty and havoc to their relationships. And so if they do get caught in their very disruptive form of engaging with conflict, they'll just tell themselves a lie. Well, I'm the innocent one here. I'm the victim. You're the problem here. And so they buy off on that one. How about another one? The narcissist may think, well, when I keep secrets, it's because you are too intrusive. Again, keeping secrets is not the issue to them. It's you and you wanting to know whatever is going on in their world. It's like, no, you don't have the right to be nosy with me. I like that lie. And as a result, you can see that much of what the problem really is their projection. They want to know anything and everything about you. They need to be in control. But if you hint at wanting to have any kind of accountability, it's like, no, you don't get to do that in reverse. That's another one of their lies that they bought into. Or how about this one? The narcissist may think, well, it's my necessary task to remind others about how inappropriate you are. And so in that one, they think, oh, I kind of like that lie too because it makes me look good. And in the process, this is their way of saying, well, maybe if I can gather some enablers or flying monkeys is what they call them around myself, that's just going to be good. It's going to promote my needs and I'll have a gaggle of people here that are going to go along with me. Maybe if I can get other folks to buy into that, then that's okay. Or another lie that they go off with, and that is, well, when other people compliment you, it's because they don't know you in the same way that I do. I like that lie. Now, let's keep in mind that narcissists operate with a great deal of envy when something good happens to you rather than them saying, that's really nice. I'm glad that you had something positive in your life. It's like, no. We have to discount that. I want that, but I don't want you to have that. That's their envy, but it also is part of them going into the lying mode toward themselves. Want to hear another one? How about this one? They may think to themselves, there's no reason to discuss my so-called deficiencies because you'll never understand. I really like that lie. And basically, when they go into that kind of mode, that's their pathological defensiveness. One of the things that we know about narcissists is they have constructed a false self, this vision of who they're supposed to be, this image that they want to portray. And then when you come along and say, there's something that's not quite right, it's like, well, you don't know what you're talking about and you just don't understand. They'll just stay with that lie for a long time. Another one of their favorite ones, and that is, I know and understand all that I need to know. I like that lie. And in telling themselves that particular lie, basically, it illustrates that they have astonishingly low insight psychologically. And then a final lie that we can zero in. Actually, I could come up with a lot more. But the narcissist may want to say out loud, or certainly to themselves, I'm a very confident person. I like that lie. And in doing so then it illustrates they're in denial, and frankly, they're a terribly insecure person, but they just cover all of that up. Now, when you're the narcissist and you're growing up and you don't want to have that governor on your impulse control, it's in your vested interest to lie to yourself. And frankly, if they lie to themselves often enough, then they honestly believe that and they think, well, I'm off the hook because look at me, how innocent I am. And so they'll keep pushing their non-truth within themselves and then on to you. And you know what my response is to all of that? Wow. Just wow. All of those lies that I just mentioned is part of why they come to you in such a difficult and cantankerous and ornery kind of way. They just simply can't face basic truth. You see, if we were to flip that around, we would say, well, the truth is, Mr. or Mrs. Narcissist, it's not all about you. It's not all about your cravings in the moment. The truth is, each one of us, including you, including me, is a work in progress. Can we go ahead and acknowledge that as we interact with one another? The truth is, when or if we can combine our efforts, we can actually make healthy improvements. You know, I'll grow and you grow. I scratch your back, you scratch my back. There is this complementarianism we can maintain. That's a good thing. Or the truth is, a sign of strength is the ability to admit your weakness. And that's something that they have lied to themselves about for a long time. It's like, I am not about to let you know my weaknesses. It's called humanity, and they want to be above all of that. The truth is, kindness and service and gratitude are highly therapeutic. You actually have a much better outlook on life when you go into those kind of traits. The truth is, conflicts can give us an opportunity to learn and grow as opposed to destroy and rip apart. But again, narcissists are simply not able to go into that space. I love those truths. And if the narcissist could be truthful, when we compare the lies that they tell themselves versus the truths, it would be much more helpful. If they could be truthful with themselves, they'd say, well, yeah, but if you don't mind, I just like to stick with those lies. I'm way too fragile to let them go. And I hope that videos such as this can give you some good awareness about what you're dealing with. If you've not already hit that subscribe button, I would encourage you to do so. Gus and I will keep more videos coming in your direction. If you have a need for therapy, and many times when you're dealing with things like this, it would be good for you to sift it through with a licensed professional therapist. Below, we have the link to the sponsor that's been sponsoring me for many years now, the BetterHelp.com people. It's very accessible, it's very affordable, and you can access them online or even on the phone. I've had lots of good feedback from that. Get the help that you need if that's something that would be warranted for you. Likewise, we have my therapeutic courses, and they're meant to like signing up for an online class. Every course has multiple videos and written documents and guided questions. We have Ready, Set, Connect about making good connections. This is me establishing boundaries, free to be, finding yourself despite the controllers. We also have my webinars that have already been presented, but you can still purchase them on our website. In addition, we have my podcast, and we do have that website with many articles that are on there and other kinds of resources. We have my books, so plenty of things to help you out on your journey. You know, it's sad that narcissists have to lie to themselves as thoroughly and as frequently as they do, but that's where they are. It's arrested development. They've not grown up, and so you're going to see a lot of childishness when you engage with them. But I'm hoping that as you see through that, it just gives you that much more motivation that says, well, somebody, and that somebody's going to be me, is going to stand for the things that are truthful and wise and best. And when you do so, it positions you to have the dignity, respect, and civility that we talk about here on Team Healthy. And I hope that the net result is you're going to be able to find your sense of peace.